So when you're in a very stressful situation, you're in a heightened situation, a lot of times in that stress situation, this is just physiology, right? This is just when you're in a very high, intense, stressful situation, typically that activates your sympathetic nervous system inside of your body, right? So that's going to activate your fight or flight response. And when you look at it in business, when you look at it in finance, when it's a highly stressful situation, you either want to drive right to it or you just want to be like, hey, I'm out of here, right? One thing that Chris was masterful at in very heightened situations, and there was a lot of battles that me and Chris went through. We went through fundraising, we went through fundraising, we went through exiting businesses, we went through exiting people, we went through acquisitions. Like me and Chris have went through a lot. We've been in a lot of wars together. And I've always appreciated how Chris would master in a very heightened situation. I would always look at him. At the time, I was a port back in that example that I was mentioning. He was the CFO of the organization, and I was the manager of finance. So I reported directly to him. And I always value how in that situation, Chris would take his time. He would gather his thoughts. He would slow down. And it sometimes, let me be honest, Chris, don't take a jab at this, bro. It's all love, Chris. Hey, ladies, you know this is all love, bro. But it would be kind of awkward sometimes how the pause would go. Because it would be like, we would be sitting there, right? And it'd be like a direct question asked to him. And it would get to a point where it was like an awkward kind of transition. But every time Chris took that time, and when Chris was ready to speak, and when Chris was ready to respond to what that inquiry or what that question was, it was clear, it was concise, and it was direct, and it was actionable, and it was easy to understand. And I always took from a leadership in a stressful situation from Chris and said, that is the kind of leader that I want to be. That is when it's stressful, when a lot of chaos is going on. I can take that time. I can calm down my literal body, right? I don't have to go in fight or flight response. I can calm down. I can find my clarity. I can be centered and clearly communicate concisely exactly what the situation is, what my response to it is, and make it easy to understand. So that's another tip that I have for you when you're dealing with mastering your emotional intelligence in stressful and leadership situations. Master the art of the pause.